Okay. Uh, Good evening, dear and partners. Today we are going to be talking about a very important topic. So I am going to share the screen and we begin to develop the task following the script that we created. Okay? One moment.
Regards, my name is Norbert Marin. I am a student to a semester in the English program at UNAT. Today we are going in this meeting because the purpose or the main idea is talk about the topic, the secrets of learning a new language. Okay, some of the arguments to this web conference or this lecture are taken from the video to Lydia Manchova. And I would like to make a little introduce to the other participants in this web conference. They are the partner Diana. Hi, partner Diana. How are you?
Hi, Norbert. Fine, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to participate in this lecture.
Okay. The other participant is Claudia. Hi, Claudia. How is it
Hi,
going?
Norbe. I am great, thank you. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. And now,
Okay.
continue with the other participant, and she is Lisette. Hi, Lisette. How are you?
Hi everyone. I am very well. Thanks.
Okay. Uh, Now, let's continue with the purpose to this web conference. And we are going to talk about the topic, the secrets of learning a new language. In our learning process is very important to integrate the different components that can help us to improve our skills. Some of these important components are the enjoyment, the methods, the system, and the patience. Okay. I would like to start talking about the element enjoyment. Enjoyment is associated with motivation. That is, when a person begins a process of learning a new language, he or she might choose topics and thoughts of his or her liking. For example, if a person likes to watch television and romantic movies, that person could match a romantic movies, but in English language. Okay, that is my first participation about the element enjoyment. And now I would like if any colleague or any participants have any question for me or would like to complement something
Yes,
about the topic enjoyment.
yes, Norbert. I have a question.
Okay.
What strategies do you use to stay motivated in learning English?
Okay. I usually use some motivational strategies such as on my cell phone, I have a program in English that consists of three levels. In my free times, I learn throughout this program because I like the interactive topics of this program named Pismleo. Pismleo. Okay. I also watch football, soccer, where the sport narrators speak in English. For example, the Premier League in England. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Now, let's continue talking about the methods. For example, the methods. Colleague Claudia, could you start talking about the methods used to learn a new language? Colleague Claudia.
Okay, yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the shadowing technique. Um, Shadowing is a technique which can be used by students independently to improve their intonation and pronunciation. We repeat a video or audio of someone speaking just um, after you hear it, and you repeat what they say in real time. This technique is effective to learn a new language because our mind start processing the information in the same pattern, and the pronunciation improves and sounds more natural. Mm, I am some foreign language student. I consider that we should look for different ways of how to reach our goal. Therefore, mm, according to Lydia's video, this technique is great for developing speaking fluency in different languages. It is also a good option to improve the accent and pronunciation, among other things. It can be an effective way to improve speaking and listening skills. For example, you are listening to someone on a podcast or YouTube for learning a foreign language. That means you try to repeat exactly what they are saying at the same time. You are imitating it as much as possible with the intonation. So this is a very good option. Practice for pronunciation, which allow you to practice the language. Okay.
Excuse me, Claudia.
Okay.
How could we use the shadowing technique in our learning process?
Okay. We could use the shadowing technique through different helpful steps. The number one, we can find an audio, and then you can choose a podcast, movies, songs, or any other audio recording from audiobooks, Netflix, YouTube videos, Spotify, or even radio shows by a native speaker for the topics of your interest. Okay, the second one, before you start shadowing, you can listen to the audio one or more times to understand the content. The last one, you can listen to the audio and repeat following the speakers. Like a shadow, you can imitate the sounds. Mm, the intonation, stress, and pauses, and so on. Repeating between 2 and 4 times is enough. Okay.
Okay, colleague Claudia. Colleague, which is Claudia. Yes, great
Yeah.
participation. Now let's continue with the other colleague, Diana. Diana, could you share with us a little about other method or technique?
Yes, Norbert. The method called input. Um, it is called input to the method by which a person learns through what hears, sees, or reads to understand or decipher a message. For example, watching a movie, listening to a podcast, reading a book, etc. There you will find a phonetic, grammatical, and lexical examples, which allow the brain to associate an image, a sound with a meaning.
Um, the method input is very important and interesting, College Diana. But I have a question for you. The input technique can be used by people of different age.
Of course, yes, yes. This technique allows people of different ages to start acquiring a language. In the case of children, they acquiring it naturally and unconsciously, generated by a need for communication, without understanding any rules or grammatical structure. In adults, linguistic competence can be developed through unconscious acquisition, but also by learning, that is, understanding grammatical rules and structures.
Okay. Diana, I have a question for you. Uh, do you think it is more effective for learning to start with the acquisition of the language or with the learning of the language?
I think it is more rewarding and motivating when the learner is able to understand and produce a language than when he first learn about grammar rules and structures, since he can get frustrated because he knows the theoretical component but is not capable of producing.
Okay, thank you very much for your participation, partner Diana.
Thank you.
Now let's continue with, okay, let's continue with the other colleague, the colleague Lisa Ramirez. Could you share with us a bit about the topic, the secrets of learning a new language?
Yes, partner, of course. I want to talk about something that is also very important to achieve our goal. Um, as we arrive here, we must find a method with which we feel confident and facilitate our learning and just enjoy this process. So, enjoying the learning, and defining the method and having patience in our process is very important. But besides this, we must plan over time. And at this point, I want to focus the system. Okay, the system is a necessary element. We must create a plan for our learning and create goals according to the plan. Okay, and as we all know, we all have com- commitments, tasks, or activities to fulfill and perform throughout to the day. But this cannot prevent use from annexing in our free time, or better yet, in a specific time, the daily learning plan, because it is necessary to practice and learn something new every day. And that this process becomes a habit that will do use very well. Any question? Any question from me?
Lisette, what happens if we follow all the previous steps except this one?
Well, as we know, there are some steps that can help us improve our language skills. And then, if we find the right methods, and some days we practice and other we don't. We lose the interest or the motivation with which we started, and our learning becomes tense. And that is we could no longer by really enjoying the learning, and it can become confusing when we want to learn everything at once in a short time.
Okay, colleague said very interesting your participation. Now I have other question for you, and it is how
So,
could we plan our learning in an interactive way? For example, what do you use on a daily basis?
okay, then creating a learning plan that we can enjoy and that we want to develop daily is very simple. If we choose to learn in the way that most appeals to use. For example, you can watch a chapter in the evening of your favorite series. Um, Also, read a part of a book or a comic, um, and while you tie a nap. Mm, okay, and learn find new words during the day to reinforce your vocabulary. It's important. The secret is that you do it daily. And will on that I use daily is lyric straining. Lyric straining is very easy to use, and you can practice your listening and learn vocabulary while listening to the song you like. Okay, partners. Uh, well, I think that all of you today in this call have learned a lot of about this important topic, and from now on we can implement the elements we learning and the tools that each of our colleagues gave us to know in its intervention. Okay, okay,
Thank you, thank
partners.
you.
Okay, partners. Thank you. Thank you all very much for your participation and work in this activity.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much for this space to share with us about this important topic for our learning process. Thank you very much.
Of course, colleagues, thank you very much for your participation in this scenario. In our learning process, it is very important participate in these practice activities because they help us to improve our capacities, our skills. Okay, thank you very much. Happy
Okay.
night.
Okay,
Thanks. Good
thank
night.
Thank
you.
you.
Good night. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.